Hello guys, welcome to the channel. I've had a few drinks, so I'm a bit tipsy. And I've started playing Syberia the World before. I'll just move my mic already. So I've been massively impressed by this title. If you've watched my previous videos on the series, I didn't like Syberia 3 at all. It was a complete and utter disaster. But this one, well, I've got to say, it's completely blown my expectations out of the water. This is arguably the best Syberia, the strongest Syberia within the whole
Looks like
series.
Mom's friends came over again last night. She's been seeing them a lot since what happened to Dad. Maybe too much.
So I do apologise if well, I've only just started recording from this point onwards. I'm not entirely sure how far I am within the game, but this is Kate Walker, the main protagonist of the whole series, and this is her having a flashback to when she was younger. So let's have a look, inspect this. So I just want to explain as well that they completely... The problem with Syberia 3 was the control scheme. It was just terrible. And also the camera angles didn't lend itself very well to the control scheme either. But with Syberia the World before, they've kind of like gone back to the point and click mechanic, which is what a lot of fans wanted. And it really
hello,
does
Munchkin.
work.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's her mother. Yeah, so it's kind of like Broken Sword series. Broken Sword 3 was completely moved away from the previous games and employed like pushing boxes, and it wasn't really very good. The 3D elements weren't really well implemented, especially when you were so used to the series being a point and click game. But with the Serpent's Curse, the latest Broken Sword, they went back to the point and click, which is what everyone wanted. So let's have a look. Oh, what is this? So you can move objects around in 3D space to see if there are any clues, and here we have one.
Grandpa and Grandma from New York gave it to me for my last birthday. I really ought to read it, or at least dog-ear the pages so it looks like I did.
I'm not too sure about the voice acting, but this is definitely a change to the Syberia of old. I'm kind of thinking that they borrowed elements from The Life is Strange, or Life is Strange. It's just, yeah, that's the impression I have. Which is not a bad thing, because that was a very good series. But, our dearest Sarah, your father and I like to express our deepest sorrow at what happened to Richard. We are worried about your welfare, darling Sarah. You might be a fully grown adult, but we still worry about you. We wanted you so much. You were our miracle child, so even now, as a young woman with a daughter of her own, it is hard for us to see you suffer. You have always been our pride and joy. Just remember, darling, that we are here for you should you need us. We will always be here for you as long as we breathe. We shall be with you whatever happens in the spring for your birthday. Remember, just let us know if you want us to stay with you for a while, until you're back on your feet, and we shall be down as fast as you can say Jack Robinson. With our deepest love, Mama and Papa. Yeah, so these ones you can't actually rotate, which is fair enough. I really like this latest installment of Syberia because there's so many little details that you can spot. But which you can miss totally, and they're not important to the actual game. But nevertheless, it adds immensely to the whole experience.
The piano that Mom ordered will soon be here. couldn't bring myself to tell her that I wanted a drum kit instead.
The piano that Mom ordered should arrive anytime soon. Oh dear.
Mom bought those again.
What are these? To ease Mom. Okay. Right, okay, I don't think there's anything else. Let's have a look around the room. The graphics are absolutely fantastic. The soundtrack is immense. And there's quite a few references, well, not just references, they use Chopin. Many of his pieces within this game so far, which is awesome. I can't remember where she is. Let's have a look at what we need to do. So we need to find a music box, inspect the house before you take the music box. Right, okay. That's one of the few issues that I have. When you go to the exclamation mark, you can see these objectives here. The top one is, it's not compulsory, you don't have to complete it in order to progress within the story. However, it's not entirely clear most of the time how far you are or how near you are to accidentally completing the main objective, which is in this case find the music box. So for instance, if I was trying to find to complete this secondary objective, I wouldn't know if I walked down this particular corridor whether or not I would be able to complete that. And in some cases it's actually progressed me such that I've completed the main objective and I haven't been able to complete the secondary objective. So that's one of the gripes that I have. There are not many, granted. This game, as I said, has completely blown me away. It's fantastic and arguably the strongest within the whole series. If you played the demo, then you'll see this particular swan. It can play a tune that is synonymous with Kate herself. So I will take this. Oh, there you go. The perfect example. I have progressed without actually realizing it, and so now I cannot access that particular branch of the story, and potential achievements as well.
You forgot your music box.
I don't
Be
really
careful
think
with
that's
that,
fair,
please, Munchkin.
it is a minor gripe. As I said, it's not integral to the story, it's not important to the story, but yes, I mean, right, what do we do here? I'm not entirely sure. Ah, here we are. Where did you get it? Let's activate it.
I just love it.
You've always liked it, ever since you were little.
So I
Do you
take
give it
this
to
is
me
her
when I'm
mum.
big?
Maybe, if you're a good girl, when I get old.
So when will that be then?
Later,
Is this
Katie.
Dana? If you're watching this, I do apologise. I should have really played from the very beginning. You'll have, unless you've actually played the game yourself, you'll have no idea what's going on. But I wasn't entirely sure whether or not this was going to be a good game. What with Syberia 3 being such a disaster, really. But yeah, this has blown me away. It is, in my honest opinion, if I'm being brutally honest. As much as I love Syberia 1 and 2, I think this is a stronger overall experience. It completely combines the elements of the first two, but it's updated the gameplay, the graphics,
when I'll be gone.
visuals, the sound as well. So yeah, this is where I left off. Kate came back from an adventure. She travelled up to a somewhere, and yeah, she's come back now. She was exhausted. She wanted to rest, and then she had that dream. So look at the letter. Okay.
Dear Kate, wherever you are now, despite the sad news it contains, I hope this letter reaches you in time.
Oh, give it a rest, Olivia.
Oh, Olivia, I don't like her at all. If you played the first game, you'll know that, and the second game as well. But yes, Olivia stole her fiance, basically, while she was on this trip to Val-de-Len.
Dear Kate, wherever you are now, despite the sad news it contains, I hope this letter reaches you in time.
Oh, give it a rest, Olivia.
Oh, yeah, I detest Olivia. What am I supposed to do? Oh, there we go.
Ah, what the hell? You want me to call you Olivia? Fine. I've survived worse criticism.
Wow, call Olivia! This will be the first time she's called her so-called friend since the first game. Wow. The only difference here is that Kate does not have a mobile phone. So...
I shouldn't put it off. I better call Olivia while I have the courage.
Okay, so where's the phone? Where is the phone? Could be downstairs. But Kate is being followed by someone. I'm not entirely sure who it is. He kind of looks like the guy from Syberia 2. There's two...
Who do you think you are, Olivia Foster? It's easy to judge and lecture me from New York. You know nothing about what I've gone through, of what I've had to endure since leaving Hans.
Exactly. Actually, there's a letter outside. Actually, no, it's not. Nothing to do with me, so... I'm sure it must be downstairs. I remember seeing a phone. Somewhere around here. It's got to be around here. Oh no! It was at the front of the hotel. So let's go down here. There's a two phone boxes, booths. Here we go. Oh! There you go again. It's just... So now I've missed my opportunity to be able to complete that. That's the major gripe that I have. I mean, it's not a major gripe, but for me, I would like to complete them when I can. But sometimes you just don't know. Oh, this is going to be very, very interesting.
Hello? Hello? Mr. Canton, is that you?
Go on, Kate.
Who's there, please?
Olivia, it's me, Kate.
Kate? Gee, it's so weird to hear your voice after all these years.
Got your letter, Olivia.
Kate, I sent it 2 years ago.
I know, things have been complicated.
Complicated? I see. And so when are you coming back to New York? You know, to visit your mother's grave?
You know
Well,
I
that's
can't
nothing
come
to
back,
do with
Olivia.
you.
I'm still wanted
You're
by
not
the
part of the
police
family.
over the sale of the Vorarlberg factory.
Sorry.
Oh, I haven't forgotten, believe me. If only you knew how much the accusations hurt your
Oh,
mother.
shut up.
Visits from the police, the requisitions...
Who the hell do you think
and
you
tests
are?
when she was diagnosed, too. And yet the poor woman never stopped hoping that her daughter would come back one day. Or at least call to help her in her final days.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need to justify myself.
I don't have to justify myself to you, Olivia, or to anyone else.
Kate, Okay, listen to me. I thought you had plenty of time to think about how you abandoned all of us. Me, your mother,
Abandoned
Dan, or even that poor
the
Mr.
twins.
Canton.
Okay, sorry.
And maybe felt at least some remorse. But I guess I was dreaming. All you do is keep chasing
Oh,
castles in the
shut
sky and
up.
ignore those who care about you.
Oh, honestly, she... Oh. Yeah, she infuriated me. in the first game. I mean, she basically, Olivia was her Kate's best friend, and while she was away trying to get the toy factory from Hans signed over to her Kate's company, Olivia goes and steals her fiance, and basically takes him. It's just like, and then she has the audacity to lecture Kate on her mother. I mean, what? No, I'm not done.
Are you done?
Oh, Kate. I should have known. And I should never have asked you to call me. Goodbye, Kate. I hope you find whatever it is you've been looking for these past 3 years. One thing's for sure, though. You wanted to be alone. And that's how you're gonna stay.
What the... I detest Olivia. I always have. And such is the power of this story within the Syberia series. It just, yeah. Wow, that's the first time she's contacted her best friend since the first 2 games. Incredible. Yeah, Kate's understandably very upset. I'm sure Olivia is, but I mean, she's the one that cheated on her best friend. I do like sometimes within the game that you can actually just admire the scenery. I think the game calls it introspection. It's quite interesting. So sometimes you'll see Kate sitting down and just admiring the views, because as I said, the graphics are pretty fantastic. It uses the Unity engine. I think the very latest one, whatever that is, but yeah, it's very, very strong graphically. There can be some issues when it comes to control, but I think yeah, the majority of the times the control scheme works. And it's just interesting as well, sometimes as you walk to a location from one particular viewpoint, and then when you come out you see you see the opposite viewpoint, the opposite perspective. That's very interesting as well.
Okay, let's go, kiddo. Another day, another page. A new day in Vaughan. I must take the tram to that music academy where Dana Rose was a student in the 1930s. With a bit of luck, they'll have kept her records.
So just to explain the background for Syberia the World Before. Basically, it's a merge between Kate now in 2005 and what I believe is one of her relatives back in 1937, before they're not called the Nazis, they're called the Brown something. But basically, yeah, they're a representation of the Nazis. And there's a girl there called Dana Rose. She's a Vaughan who is kind of brings similarities to the Jews and how they're persecuted by the Nazis and what have you. So yeah, so merging the two worlds, the modern day. Kate's trying to find this girl. She has a picture. Yeah.
Demoiselle Lenny told me the Music Academy is near the musical square. Maybe Frau Wagner can tell me more.
I'm not very good at explaining things, so I do apologise, but I have had a few drinks today. Very busy at work this week, so I think it was well deserved. And I'm enjoying this game. It's just brilliant. I've got to be brutally honest. Everything about it is just, it brings that element, that excitement, that that sense of exploration that I got, and I'm sure many others got with the original 2 games, but with the control scheme that is way up to date, much better updated graphics.
Oh, hello, Miss Walker.
Hi. And I'm thinking, I think it would be a good idea to actually recreate the first 2 games using this same graphics engine. That would be fantastic. So, what's this lady got to say? She's nice, actually.
Ah, Miss Walker, did you sleep all right?
Yes.
Fine, thanks.
Now, is there anything you need?
Oh, yeah, that's what they're called, the brown shadow. So let's have a look.
Everything seems to link the person I'm looking for with the Second World War and the rise of the Brown Shadow.
Terrible times were those, my dear. Especially when Wagen was occupied after the annexation of Ostertal. Thank God I was born just after the liberation.
I see, but I guess you had to grow up with the after effects of those events.
Oh yes, dear. There was a kind of conspiracy of silence where everyone suspected each other, even their close friends. Did any of them collaborate with the enemy? And if so, was it through like-mindedness or simple cowardice? Were they responsible in one way or another for the arrest or death of a family member?
Oh, it must have been awful.
A terrible time, really.
Well, the person I'm looking for is from the same generation.
You'll just have to hope she managed to survive the madness then.
I'd like to go to the Music Academy. Can you tell me how to get there?
You just need to take the tram northbound to the musical square.
Is there anything I should know about the Academy?
To tell the truth, it's a little glum nowadays. Especially when you think it was once the jewel of the town, where students came from all over the world to perform on the musical square, Pity. It's since lost its panache of old through lack of students and means.
I went to the Silberspiegel Refuge yesterday. Oh, magnificent.
I won't disagree with that, Miss Walker. Those mountains are the pride of the town, just like old Lenny.
Lenny is highly respected in Wagen because she was a resistance fighter during World War II, right? Well, I heard about it when I was at the refuge.
Lenny Renner might be a grumpy old spinster, but to us she's still a heroine. Pity the same can't be said of her father, though.
Really?
Still, everyone has their cross to bear, as they say.
Quite nice.
What do you mean?
No point gossip-mongering. The war was a dark time in Wagen for everyone,
so
see?
cool.
Best not stir up old memories.
Well, I guess I should get going. Thank you for your time, Frau Wagner.
Odd.
Feel free to ask if you have any more questions.
I do like how the game as well, how it's merged historical facts, such as the Second World War, as you heard in that discussion there. But they've changed things. They've applied some sort of artistic license. Whether they didn't refer to the Nazis in name due to political reasons or whatever, to avoid controversy, I have no idea, but it does actually work because there's elements of familiarity with certain parts of history, but then at the same time, as I said, it comes up with its own ideas, and it's kind of like mixed. I mean, for instance, we're talking about the Second World War here. Well, this town was built in the Second World War. Currently, Kate's in the current time is 2005, and yeah, they had automatons, like robots and whatever, which obviously didn't exist during the Second World War. But it's that nice twist to historical facts, lends it that artistic license. Ooh, achievement, a stressful night. I don't think I'll play too long, guys. I am pretty tired. I do apologise, but I wanted to make a video on this game because it's awesome. And if you did subscribe to my channel because of the Syberia video I made, then yeah, if you haven't got this game already, then please get it because it's fantastic. Taking a screenshot there. There's no major issues. I mean, I was massively disappointed with Syberia 3. I was really looking forward to that game, and it just turned out to be horrible. It wasn't just the control scheme either, it's just ill thought out. The voice acting wasn't very good either. And it just wasn't interesting because the continuation from where Syberia left off, Syberia 2, sorry, left off, just didn't make sense. But luckily, I think they made this with the intention that you can skip Syberia 3. In fact, you could probably skip Syberia 1 and 2, but actually, no, it wouldn't really make sense. But I think it was definitely made with the intention that you don't have to play Syberia 3. And of course, this game is dedicated to Benosso Carl, who sadly passed away. One of the all-time greats. I've always said that he basically reimagined the old works, that sense of adventure from the likes of Jules Verne, 80 Days Around the World, and what have you. But in the modern time, 2005, where the game was set, so. As you can see, the graphics are really, really good. The performance is fantastic. Currently I've got it on 2 ultra settings, and there's no hitch at all. Performance is really, really smooth. Control scheme is really, really good as well. If I double click, it is essentially a point and click game within a would you say isometric viewpoint 3.5? Well, it is 3D, but oh, whoops. So I'm back in Vagen anyway. You can see it's very, very beautiful. Vagen is somewhere in France. I don't think it actually exists in real life, but as I said, it could be due to artistic license, or it could be due to avoid controversy. But it's very, very well rendered. So I'm not entirely sure where to go now. I did go down there before. I'm not sure it will allow me. Oh yes. Oh, and Oscar. If you've played the first 2 games, you'll know who Oscar is. He has gone into a new body somehow, and he ran away. What? That's Oscar.
Put me down!
Oscar? Bet you can't catch it!
Don't you dare! Put it down! Right now!
Alright then. Oscar!
Oh. I thought he was going to run away.
Are you alright?
I had a bit of a bumpy ride, but I am glad to see you, Kate Walker.
Oscar! Oh, I've missed you so much.
I say, this display of emotion is most unreasonable, Kate Walker.
Oh,
I do
look at
hope
that
you don't
wall of
plan such
remembrance.
profusion every time I change bodies.
It's just that I've been worrying about you. Where were you, Oscar?
Well, the mechanical instinct of my host took me for a ride, all across town. It took me the whole night to tame it, and that's when I bumped into those little rascals.
Yeah, lucky I was in the area, huh?
Quite. So, Kate Walker, what has happened since we parted at the Balaton River?
Maybe we should just sit down for a
It's so
second,
weird
Oscar.
having
This,
Oscar
this
in
might
that
take
body.
a while.
It's just weird. Not right. Look at these nice little touches. Look. It's just brilliant. I really appreciate it. You know, things like
And
this.
that's when
Look.
Demoiselle Letty gave me the address of the Music Academy in this neighborhood.
And you'll see things on the floor
I see, Kate Walker.
that can be easily missed, but they really add to the sense of adventure and atmosphere as well. You must think I'm crazy.
You must think I'm crazy, huh? Running after that girl, Dana, who must have died ages ago.
Well, Kate Walker, you know I have difficulty understanding illogical thought patterns. But in the end, what I do understand is that you need to find her. Is that correct, Kate Walker?
Yes.
The voice isn't quite
That
the
is
same.
correct, Oscar. I'm glad you're
They
taking
have
it so
used
well.
the same voice
I
for
don't
Kate
see
in the
any
original
fundamental
games.
difference between crossing Europe
think.
in search of mammoths, travelling on ostriches in an irradiated zone, or following your double. These
Ostriches?
are not things
They're
an
not
automaton such as
ostriches.
I take into consideration.
They're the what are those creatures called?
Any other thoughts, Oscar?
Well, I guess I could
So what do you
ask you
call
where we are
what they
heading,
use?
but truth be told, it doesn't really matter. I will follow you wherever you lead, and for as long as you require my services, Kate Walker. That's what an automaton does.
Thank you, Oscar.
Oh dear, I hope you're not going to become physical, are you?
No, I was just going to give you a pat on the back.
I would rather you refrain from having such thoughts. I am not a dog, you know. Whatever next?
Anyway, we'd better get going, Oscar.
You
And
cheeky
you'd better
little
keep out of sight.
rascal.
Oh dear, I don't suppose I have any choice.
No, you don't. You're coming with me this time. Oh, it would be cool if I can control him. Like for some of the... Actually, no. Well, it depends.
I'm so glad he's back.
Would you mind using a bigger bag in the future? Is it really necessary for me to be shut up in here, Kate Walker?
Sorry, Oscar, but I don't want to run the risk of losing you again.
So when you come here as Dana, this wall isn't here because it's basically before the Second World War. But Kate is here in 2005, and obviously this is the Wall of Remembrance for those who died during the war.
Victims of the genocide committed by the fascists during the Second World War. Oh, so many deaths. I hope Dana made it through.
See, another nice little touch. And I've noticed this game was actually made by Microids in France. Can't quite... I think the other ones were made in Canada. But I'm not entirely sure. But you can tell, yeah, that they've spent so much time on the small little details within this within this game. And I'm sure it's sad that Ben Rossakal didn't see the release, didn't see through to the end, so that he could see how brilliant this game was, or how successful it was. But yeah, he's going to be sadly missed, definitely. This is a magnificent homage to Ben Rossakal. I'm sure he'll be very, very proud. It would be interesting to know what his thoughts were and what input he had. Obviously, apart from the whole world, the world itself, and Kate Walker. But wow, that is magnificent. The scale and Okay. So yeah, I'm just going to end it there, guys. If you've watched this far, well done. Give yourself a pat on the back. And I will hopefully make a video sometime next year. But yeah, if you like the Syberia series, if you haven't got the game, please get it. It's fantastic. You won't regret it. It is the best, the strongest installment within the whole series, without a doubt. And yeah, all the best. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.